Hey guys, good morning. Okay, so today I thought we could do a little makeup therapy session because I need some makeup therapy. So we're gonna just talk about everything that's been going on lately, have a little update type of thing, and chit chat about life while we put some makeup on. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Eyes are primed, brows are on. So I had my brows laminated and waxed, tinted, all the things like probably about 3 weeks ago now. It's been a minute since I got to sit down and film. Anyway, I love them. I'm kind of obsessed with it, especially the way she shaped them. I would have never left all these hairs down here. I would have thought to wax those, but I always remove those and kind of do more of a lift, like more straight up and out with my brows, because I always thought that was more like youthful or I don't know, lifting or something. But the brow lady left that, and I think it actually is way more flattering on my face shape, because I mean that's what she specializes in, making your brows look the best for your face shape. And yeah, she definitely did that. I don't know, I just, as much as I harp on following bone structure, there I was just completely ignoring my own bone structure and doing my brows totally different than how they really like would grow in. So yeah, we got some new brows going on, and I really like them. For the eyes today, we're going to use Nomad Ghost Town because I haven't reached for this in a while and I just want to play with it. I'll put the shade on the screen that I'm using so you can see what I'm doing or which shade I'm going in with, because I might forget to mention it. I will try to remember to mention it. Actually, I'm going to start with some eyeliner. I'm going to go in with this Revlon So Fierce eyeliner and map out the lash line with this. So we've had a very hectic, stressful couple of weeks around here. So my dad had a stroke last week, so that taken some getting used to and some adjustments with that. It's definitely it's definitely changed things a bit. Now he got, according to his doctor, made a miraculous recovery, and the other doctor said that he was extremely lucky that he was walking out of that section of the hospital with no problems necessarily. Like, yeah. But the neurologists both said that he was extremely lucky and made an insane recovery. So what had happened was last week he started experiencing aphasia, which is where the words coming out of your mouth don't make sense. They can be like gibberish, or it'll be like sentences that don't make sense, like random words thrown together. There's different types, but he was just gibberish, and he couldn't understand anyone speaking to him. It was just gibberish, and he was fully aware of it happening. Like, he was cognizant that, oh, what is this? Why is words not working right now? And it freaked him out, and he went and hid in his office instead of, this happened to him at work, so he went and straight to his office, like ended a conversation, just walked off, and just kind of was like, oh my god, what was that? He leaves work, stops by the gas station to pick something up for my stepmom, and I guess get gas or whatever. You know, his usual errands he runs on the way home from work. And he runs into my brother-in-law. He runs into his brother-in-law in there. And he calls my stepmom and says, hey, Wayne's not acting right. He seems a little off. Something's up. Let me know what you think. He's like, he just didn't seem right. And my dad came home from work and just immediately took a nap, because that's what he does every day. He's done this since I was a little kid. He comes home, he takes a nap. He has a snack, takes a nap. And that's what he came in and did. Didn't raise any alarms there. And then when he woke up, my stepmom noticed that he just still seemed a little out of it. A little not quite himself. So I can't remember if he calls me or my stepmom called me. One of them calls me. And because I ended up talking to both of them on the phone. And he tells me what happened, and he still doesn't sound quite like himself. Like, for him to just call me and tell me, he's like, hey, I got confused today. Like, that's what he tells me. I got a little confused today and didn't understand my words. I was like, okay, put your shoes on. I'm going to be there in just a minute. And we're going to go to the hospital, okay? And he's just like, okay. Like, he didn't fight me on it, which a lot of times he would fight me on going to the emergency room. Or be a little more grumpy about it. But he was very, like, agreeable. Which is, I don't know. And when I got to his house to pick him up, he seemed a little, he didn't quite seem like himself. He seemed like he was drunk. Like he was just a little out of it, like not himself. Like a little loopy. Or like he had maybe like taken a medication or something that didn't agree with him. He seemed high. That's what it was. Like just a little bit, just not himself. And got him in the car. Like, yeah, we're going to the ER, okay? We're gonna go get you checked out. And he was like wobbly. Like he wasn't very steady on his feet. Like he was kind of wobbly and just he seemed like he was he seemed high. It's kind of the best way to describe it, or like intoxicated somehow. And by the time we got to the emergency room and got him checked in, he was still a little confused there. Like, I had to type in a social security number for him, where they make you do it to check in, but he knew his social security number. He told it to me, he was just kind of blanking on how to use the little keypad, like finding the numbers. And so I can't tell, it's just boomer behavior. The eyeliner is not agreeing with me today. Alright, I'm going to take some of the shade called Deadwood from the No Bad palette. Anyways, we get him checked in and all of that. And by the time he's checked in and in the room, like in the emergency room, in a little bed, he seems pretty much normal, like himself. He doesn't seem as out of it. He just seems a little tired. They immediately, take him to a CT scan and all this stuff to see if he's had a stroke. We thought he had a mini stroke because of the symptoms, because they didn't seem like permanent. He was kind of back to normal, and the CT showed a blockage in his left temporal lobe, I believe it was the left one, that connects to your speech. So that makes sense for what happened. So talked to a neurologist. Neurologist got him to do cognitive test, physical test. He did multiple of those, passed all of those with no problems, so that's good. They put him on some medication, and he spent about 4 days in the hospital. He stayed in the ER 24 hours because they didn't have a room, which sucked. His back was killing him from that weird little bed. But anyways, they ended up doing an MRI and a PET scan to check blood flow and all that. And the MRI showed that he had actually had a full stroke earlier in the week, not when the aphasia happened, but prior to that. It looked like it had happened, from what the neurologist said, about a week ago. I think the kind of working theory is that he had a silent stroke, and he's just experiencing some random symptoms now from it. And from what I've gathered and understand, that can last for about 3 months of having maybe the aphasia kicking in, or confusion and stuff like that, and tiredness and some behavioral changes and emotional changes, stuff like that. So we're kind of navigating that now. And yeah, that's pretty much what has been going on, is that. Navigating the what his life's going to look like now. Because he wants to go back to work. He did a half day. And I think he was really overwhelmed. And he did have a couple of bouts of disorientation since he's left the hospital. but they didn't last very long, maybe like just a few minutes, and they weren't bad. They weren't like he didn't forget his words or anything. He just kind of was disoriented, which I told you, stress can cause that. Okay, I'm gonna go to a firm blender, and we're gonna take Bandit Queen. But yeah, his energy levels are just not 100% yet, and apparently fatigue is a big thing after you've had a stroke, and you just need to stay active and keep your brain active, but also mitigate stress and not overdo. So that's what he's working on right now, and just kind of learning his limits at the moment. The doctors basically cleared him for whatever he felt up to doing. Like, they told him, do what you feel you're ready to do. There's no actual limitation on you. Just do what you can and what feels right. And if it's stressful or too hard or whatever, you don't have to do it. Just take a step back. The doctor definitely emphasized exercising and keeping active, which is fine. I mean, he's active as it is, so that's no problem there. He's been taking walks in the evening too, which is nice, and he's playing mobile games on his phone to kind of keep his brain active. He downloaded some games to play with, because that was one of the things they recommended, was something to engage your brain and keep it occupied and kind of help reconnect all your, just to help it heal. So he's been playing a couple of mobile games, and yeah, he's doing okay. I'm fully aware of what a insane recovery he made, and what a good place he's in, and how much worse this could be. And I think he is very cognizant of that as well, because my grandpa had a stroke when I was a kid, massive stroke, and lost all his mobility. Couldn't eat, couldn't speak. His brain function was that of like a 4-year-old. Like, it was really bad. My dad was his caregiver. Like, he bathed him every night, changed his diapers, cleaned his feeding tubes, like did all of this stuff. And so my dad's very familiar with how bad it could be. So I think he is very almost in shock of what happens. Like, I don't think it just things feel really weird right now, I think, for him. And he's been very easygoing and pleasant about everything, and just in a good mood and kind of chill, which that is different for him. Like, usually when he's in the hospital or had anything going on, he's usually not quite as easygoing. He's been just very easygoing about everything, and just he has that very much like counting his blessings, just happy to be here kind of thing. His mentality is different. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe that's something to do with like a personality change, which can happen with a stroke. But I don't know. I think it's more just feeling grateful, maybe, that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. All right, I'm going to take some more of Deadwood on a precision firm blender. But he's got an appointment with his cardiologist coming up, because he does have to have a stent done. They found a small blockage in his heart while they were checking everything. So he's going to have that done. Coming up. So he's scheduled in for the 20th with the cardiologist. But yeah, we're just, right now it's more navigating day-to-day life and seeing what his limitations are at the moment, what's okay, what he can handle, what he can do. Because I think that one day he did a half day at work. I think he felt very overwhelmed, and he went ahead and took the rest of the week off. And he's going to go back Monday and try to do a half day again and see how it goes. And yeah, I think there's like an anxiety to going back to work after something like that. That's definitely playing into it. And he doesn't have the most stressful job in the world, but he still has a fairly demanding job. He's he's a project manager, engineer at a hospital, but he just changed positions there. They moved him into being an interior designer. So it's a little less stress, a little less demanding of a position. So I think that's going to be okay. I think he's just going to have to take some time, get back into the swing of things there, and just see what his limitations are going to be mentally for the time being. But from everything I've researched and that we've learned is that the first 3 months are going to be kind of rocky and a little rough, and we need to manage like his stress levels and just one day at a time. There's going to be bad days, there's going to be good days, that kind of thing. I'm taking a diffuse crease, a little bit of undid sheriff. I'm just going to buff that around. So that's been on the forefront of everything lately, or for the last week around here. A lot of worry about that. And yeah, a lot of stress around that. And it's more of a mentally, I'm thinking, what if this gets worse, or what if something happens while he's at work or whatever. Like, I've got a worst case scenario playing in my head on repeat because it almost is like too good to be true feeling kind of thing to make that kind of a recovery from a full-on stroke. So anyway, there's that. And then that week also, Pumpkin had to have dental surgery. She had to have 3 teeth extracted. She had her teeth cleaned. She had a really bad infection in her gums. So yeah, she's still on antibiotics. She's on a different antibiotic than what she was on prior to her dental appointment. She had been on one that she liked and was taken very well, and they switched her to a stronger one that's more for dental issues, and she hates it. She really she gags every time I give it to her, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. We've only got 5 more days to take it. She's only gonna take it for 10 days. But she is eating solid food and doing great. Happy as can be now. Playing with her toys. I did give her... They told me if she felt like she was struggling to eat at first, I could put some warm water in her kibble and soften it up. I might have done that for a couple of extra days because she loved it so much. I didn't think she would enjoy it. I thought she was going to turn her nose up at it. No, the little goof was like, oh, this is some gourmet kibble right here. She thought it was amazing. So I might have done that for a couple of days just because she liked it so much. And I was like, I'm going to spoil her a little bit. All right, now we're going to take Tombstone. And I'm going to put that on the lid. But yeah, I just wanted to spoil the puppy a little after her rough week. And they let her have a pup cup after her procedure. They said I could stop and get her one. So we took her to get a little pup cup on the way home. And yeah, that made her happy. And then the other day we took her to Raising Cane's. Gave her a little bite chicken. Had a little car picnic. And then we went to Dairy Queen and they gave her some whipped cream there. And Raising Cane's also gave her a treat. A milk bone. That my husband broke that up for her so she could eat it. But yeah, she's doing really good. So that, yeah, it was a pretty pretty stressful week all around. And then we were supposed to have the driveway fixed, but they rescheduled because of the weather. So that's coming up next week now. On top of everything, I decided to cold turkey quit smoking. I picked a real great time for that. Made that plan before everything happened. So, been dealing with that also. Been dealing with the nicotine withdrawal. Today is like day 6, I think. And I'm pretty much fine. I'm good. Like, I haven't had any cravings, actually. Except for that first day. It was more mental. A lot of crying. A lot of anxiety and panicky feeling. That happened. And I don't know how much of it was the withdrawal and how much of it was just the compounding of everything. Just coming out at one time. I think it was a little bit of both. But it was a rough few days. Hence the Dairy Queen trip. I needed that. And I have my emotional support sugar-free candy. Hard candies. That's what I'm calling those. We did it. We were 7 days in, I think. 6 days in. 6 days. Yeah, tomorrow will be 7 days. Didn't think I would be able to do it. So I'm very proud of myself. I gave myself the ultimatum of the gym or cigarettes. Which one? Which do you want? And it was like this kind of crossroads thing of choosing a healthy, good lifestyle or just giving up and doing the worst. And it was like one of those things where it's like one or the other. You can't have both. So here we are. I picked lifting heavy circles. Which, yeah, I'm surprised at myself too. I've only made it to the gym once this past week. And it was not a great workout because it was the height of the nicotine withdrawals, and I had a migraine from hell because I cried for like 12 hours straight. So yeah, I had like a horrible migraine. Trying to do leg day, still not quite in full control of my emotions. So might have cried a little bit on the leg extensions, like teared up a little bit while I was doing leg extensions, and said, I think I need to go home. I need to go home. Emotions are pretty much under control now, as far as I can tell. I haven't had any freakouts. So, we'll see. And I've been kind of mentally, I guess, preparing myself for this for a while. For a few years now. And just, I don't know. I was just ready. I was just done. Okay, I'm going to clean up the fallout really quickly. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the Super Blendable, the True Match Super Blendable from L'Oreal. But yeah, cravings haven't been the issue at all, which is really surprising because I was expecting that to be a lot worse. I've never done cold turkey before. I've done patches. I've done the gum. I've done all the other ways, and it's never worked. It's never stuck, and the cravings have always been terrible. Now, I had one day that there were some cravings that first day, but mostly it was just rage. Like anger at nothing, emotional, could not control my emotions, grumpy, just crying, depressed, followed by depression, a little bit of anxiety, some sleeping issues, like I wanted to sleep. Like I slept a ton. But when I did sleep, it wasn't good sleep. It was like stressful sleep where I'd wake up in a panic ever so often kind of thing. But eventually that's gotten better now. And yesterday I slept like super good and had like some fun dreams. You have one of those sleeps that's just really good and restful and you wake up feeling great. And you also had like really good dreams the whole time. Like I had fun dreams. Like I dreamed about going to a really nice restaurant that had, it was like an Asian restaurant that was also an Italian restaurant. And it was really pretty and really good. And it was a fun dream. And that was pretty cool. And then I dreamed about hanging out with Mains by Mel and her sister Amanda. And being like on vacation. And they were there. And just like stuff like that. Just very silly dreams. Nothing stressful or upsetting. Which a lot of times my dreams can be kind of upsetting. I don't know why, but I have trouble with nightmares a lot of times. Did a lot of sleeping. I think I slept through the worst of the nicotine withdrawal, which I'm not mad about. That, like, I feel really good today. The depression stuff is over. I'm not mopey. Like, there was a few days in there that I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to film. I didn't want to think about makeup. I didn't want to watch anything. Like, I just didn't even, I had zero will to even eat. Like, it was bad. Just for like a day, it was like that. I'm like, girl, what? Come on. But it's over. Thankfully, I'm all better. I'm feeling pretty normal. We're gonna do the Milani Liquid Contour here in the shade Honey. But I know that there's probably a couple of videos that are going up that I seem probably a little out of it, not quite myself. That's why. I was trying to distract myself from how I was feeling. Best chattiest videos. And oh my gosh, the brain fog also. Yeah, that was definitely not fun. Just my brain felt like mush. But definitely had a few days there that I just did not want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get out of bed. I literally laid in bed and cried most of one day. Felt like I was going insane. You know what I finally watched? Drive with Ryan Gosling. I finally watched that the other day. That was such a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Look, I got this little gray coming in right here. Just right in the middle there. But I figure I'm not going to beat myself up about having a few little treats. Food-wise, like some ice cream here and there. Until I'm 100% here. I'm surprised at the difference of how hard one day was with this, like the cold turkey. Like that one day was just absolute hell, but after that it was fine. And when I've done like the patch or something else, it's been just a steady hellish feeling that was extended, and I feel like it just wouldn't end. And of course there's a change of like the way I go about my day and stuff, and it was such an easy adaptation. Like it didn't feel like a challenge as far as that goes, like just the habit side of it and the cravings. I'm confused by that, because when I've tried before, and I have quit for extended periods of time, it was never this easy. I say that now after I'm over that one horrible day, but previously it was a lot harder. So I don't know if it's just that it's kind of like it was, the timing was right, it was meant to be type of thing. Finally, kind of thing. That's what I'm going to chalk it up as. And it just kind of fell into place with it. Alright, I'm going to take some of this Mega Glow Makeup Stick from Wet n Wild in the shade Floral Majority. They've come out with so many shades of these now. They are like the bronzer, the highlight, and blushes. They have a bunch of shades on the website. I haven't seen them in person yet though, but they got some pretty shades that I'm gonna have to look for. Anyways, this is Floral Majority, which is a gorgeous shade. The formula on these is great too. And the new ones have new packaging that looks really nice. But Floral Majority is just a perfect rosy, warm shade. Kind of a nude blush. Nudie rose. It's the kind of blush that I love. But these are so blendable, so easy to work with, and they're very affordable. But yeah, I was looking at some of the new shades. They've got some pretty ones. I'm definitely gonna look for them next time I go to the store. Oh, so my dad did have a moment of confusion that he's like, it wasn't a stroke thing. He was like, I saw a bunch of charges on my account from Amazon and didn't know what they were. And he realized it was where he had been renting movies on Prime, Amazon Prime, and it didn't say Prime, it just said Amazon next to it. And he thought his account got hacked or something. Like one of those, oh you doofus, that was the movies you rented. He's like, that wasn't a stroke thing, that was just a doofy thing. And I was like, it's just a boomer thing. I gotcha. Because he just didn't. I think he was expecting it to say Prime next to the charge, and it didn't. And he just saw a bunch of Amazon charges, and he was like, what is this? Oh my god. He thought he got hacked or something, or like his account got messed with. And then he's like, oh wait, it was Amazon Prime where I was renting movies. So it's like, okay, so that was just a boomer moment. not a stroke moment. Okay, gotcha. All right, we're gonna go with the Butter Glow concealer from Physicians Formula. I think that all the sugar-free candy has messed my tummy up though. Oh man. And apparently quitting smoking can tear your stomach up too, so there's that. And it can make you also feel like you're getting sick, like you're coming down with something the first couple of days. And it really does. Like I felt like I was getting sick and just felt wrong. Like just don't feel like myself at all and just felt weird. It's like, this is so strange. I feel totally normal today. Like I woke up super early and just got my day started and like didn't even think about it. First time I've actually thought about it was when I'm sitting here talking to you guys. But yeah, things just feel a little weird right now still, I guess. Like having an adjustment phase. Hopeful that everything's gonna be okay. Be optimistic. And I'm a fairly optimistic person, but I'm also a realist. So like I don't let my hopes get up like crazy high about things. I'm very measured and realistic about everything. I'm gonna do some powder. I'm gonna use the ABH loose setting powder here in translucent. For a couple days there though, I was trying to film and it just was not brain no work. It's like, oh dang, did I have a stroke too? Jeez, what's wrong with me? So my dad was full of it at the hospital, by the way. Like just full stand-up comedian mode the entire time. Every time I walked in the room and there was a nurse in there, they were cackling. He's so bad. He had the nurses, the doctors, everybody just cracking up the whole time because all he was doing was just cutting up the entire time he was there. Even having to spend 24 hours in the ER on one of them crappy beds, he's still in there cracking jokes and being silly. I was like, are you kidding me? Shouldn't you be angry? Yeah, if he's not cracking jokes, that's when you should worry. If he's not doing a stand-up routine. That is his default, is class clown type. Just silly. He's always been that way since I was a kid. Definitely where I get my weird sense of humor from is him. And we deal with any sort of situation that's hard emotionally or like serious or whatever. Our way of coping with everything is jokes and laughing and just being goofballs. And then we wait till we're by ourselves for the emotions, which is probably why I had such a rough day that one day. But we are just, that's how we deal with everything, is to just crack jokes about it. Okay, lower lash line. But yeah, me and my dad are like the old men, the Muppets, the two old men that sit on the balcony. That's me and him. We're terrible. And then if it's me, him, my brother and sister, and my husband, all of us together, oh, it's trouble. But yeah, my dad was on one though at the hospital. He was, him messing with my stepmom was hilarious. He had her going about, just had her all kind of worked up over stuff, just messing with her. Just trolling her. That's what he's an old school troll. Like, look, if he was my age, now he would be one of them shit posters on Twitter and 4chan. He would be a 4chan person. Yeah. He would, yep, exactly. He would be on there making the memes and just being absolute trouble. He would probably had his accounts banned. Old school troll. Okay, I'm taking some Deadwood, by the way. I could only imagine what he would, like, with TikTok or something. I don't know if he uses TikTok now. I think he has it downloaded, like, and he's messed with it, but he doesn't make videos. He's played with Snapchat. And the only reason he downloaded Snapchat is because he wanted to play with the filters. He just likes putting the filters on and taking little short videos. It's cute. I could see him being a Twitter troll for sure. And what's weird is, like, I think trolling is hilarious, but I don't do it myself. I'm not an S poster. I'm too lazy to do it, honestly. I just don't care enough to post. I'm bad enough about posting my own content for a reason. Like, I'm bad enough about not getting around to posting content that I need to post, much less have the will to post shit posts and to troll people. I don't have it in me. I don't have that extra willpower, I guess. I just don't care enough. But I'll laugh at other people trolling. I will do that. I do enjoy that aspect of Twitter. I love watching really goofy Twitter arguments happen and Twitter drama. That tickles me. It amuses me. I keep calling it Twitter. It's X. It's called X now. I know that. I know that it's called X. And I do like Elon. I think it's like astroturfed to hate Elon. I don't know why that is. But because he lets people speak a little bit more freely on X, it's still censored. It's not 100% free speech or anything over there. My gosh. There's still a level of censorship to X. Where's my lash curler? Why? Why does this always go missing? Whatever. I'm pulling some mascara. Oh, it's right in front of me. Dear. I started talking about senior moments and boomer moments. I deserve that. But yeah, I enjoy X as a platform. It is actually a really good place to get news and current events. Let's do a little mascara. This is the telescopic lift. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer. I'm going to use my Nudegasm palette from Charlotte Tilbury for this. I'm just going to speed through this quickly. And for blush, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline. I'm going to use the Instant Cheekbones from CoverGirl in Sophisticated Sable. It looks like this. It's a pretty. So I'm taking the deepest shade. Then take it back here. And then go with the middle shade. And then the lightest little highlighty shade here. I'm going to take a little bit more of Tombstone on the inner corner. And a bit on the lower lash line. Let's take a little bit of Copper Penny across there as well on the lower lash line. That might be pretty. I'll put a little bit of Copper Penny on the lid too. Right here. Alright, let's do a little setting spray. I'm going to go with this one from Urban Decay's, their newest one. This is the All-Nighter with hyaluronic acid and watermelon fruit extract. It smells so good and so nice and very effective. It was just as good as the original. And lip liner, I'm going to throw on a bit of this Understatement one from Milani. And for lipstick, I'm going to go with this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Give Me Mocha. Okay, and this is the look all complete for today. Yeah, so thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me rant and rave and ramble at you for a minute because I need a little makeup therapy. I think we could all use a little makeup therapy session every now and then, and this is kind of my therapy, honestly, is sitting here rambling at you guys about what's going on in my little world. And yeah, let me know down below if you have any experience with a family member or yourself that's had a stroke and getting back to life afterwards and finding that normalcy again, all of that jazz. Let me know down below, or if you know any good resources online for information on that. Been definitely doing a lot of reading on that subject. Also, if you have experience with quitting smoking or any sort of addiction and moving on from that, let me know your experience down below with that as well. And we can just kind of commiserate together. And thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay spooky,